gentlemen, my name is Christopher Daniels, and you are now on Show and Talk. So, tonight we will be continuing into the American Ninja series with American Ninja 4, The Annihilation, or just Annihilation. So, this movie right here takes a different turn than the other three films. Besides the third one, which had a different actor altogether playing a character named Sean. I guess at the time, the reason being for that is that Michael Dudikoff was signed on to play into signed on into playing another character in a different film. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's why he couldn't make the third film. So they just came up with a new story with a new protagonist. You know what I'm saying? So this time though, in American Ninja 4, sadly there is no Steve James, but you get both Michael Dudikoff and David Bradley, reprising their roles. You know what I'm saying? So basically, the gist of this story is there's a secret army called the Ninja Red Faction Army or the Red Faction Ninja Army, kidnapping a bunch of U.S. soldiers, and in order to free them, this guy named Scarf Mogru wants a certain amount of money from basically from the American government, but they're refusing to pay. So instead of paying them, they send in two guys. One is Sean, right? And the other one is this, I guess his sidekick named Carl. You know what I'm saying? He's not really a field operative, but he has he has a hell of a shot, you know what I'm saying? So he's a marksman. But the one thing that this movie never explains that I'm pretty sure anybody, seeing this movie has thought about was the fact that, Sean between American Ninja 3 and this one right here, when did he become special forces? You know what I'm saying? Like in the third film, he was just participating in a martial arts tournament. But maybe in between films, he rose up in the ranks like quickly than the motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyway, so they send the two in, and the crazy part about it is Carl, right? It's his wedding day. So when when Gavin called him, right, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's the chief and everything or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When he called, they had the report. So Carl, he left his wife standing at the altar. You know what I'm saying? So they're having this little meeting about what's going on at the time before they were sent out. And the problem with it was that, Sean, he was willing to leave right then and there, basically to go out and rescue all the kidnapped soldiers. But Gavin didn't want him going by himself. So he decided to go ahead and send Carl with him. But Sean knew that Carl wasn't really a fighter. You know what I'm saying? He was a great shot, but he wasn't a fighter. You know what I'm saying? So Gavin, he pretty much had no choice. But Sean was asking about, yet the other character in this movie, Joe Armstrong, which I say in the second movie, he probably became he probably went out, to be a part of the Peace Corps or whatever. You know what I'm saying? After that, after the second movie wrapped. That makes sense to me. But what didn't make sense to me also was the fact that how did Sean know Joe? Like there was no mention of Sean or no mention of Joe between movies 2 and 3. You know what I'm saying? So I mean it's kind of a plot hole right there, but it's a movie. I left my brain at the door. But anyway, what happens is the two get sent out, and when they land, you know what I'm saying, because they come down by air. So when they land, they have to meet with a contact. And at first, it's this kid named Pongo, right? This kid looks no older than maybe 14, 15, 16. So the kid doesn't know who they are until they give their secret code word, Big Blue Wrecking Crew. You know what I'm saying? So that's when Pongo introduced himself. And this dude is obsessed with movies too. You know, I don't know. He just started spouting lines from different films and all that. You know what I'm saying? Cool little character though. I don't think he was, as annoying as, usually some kid actors are, but I gotta say, it's not to me. There's not too many annoying like kid actors or whatever. But if anybody, I know this is off topic, but if anybody read Jurassic Park, the little girl in that book, Lex, she was annoying as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, she was annoying. But anyway, back on topic. So what happens is Pongo meets up with the two, and he winds up taking them to this bar instead of where they actually need to go. You know what I'm saying? So Pongo takes them to this bar to meet the owner. You know what I'm saying? The owner of the bar or whatever. And so when they do, the owner, you know what I'm saying, the guy that they supposed to, I guess, get their intel from, he decides to test them to see how good they are. So what happens is he shakes one of his goons on Sean. Well, at first, Carl, he thought he was doing something by slamming a bottle over this big dude's head. So the dude grabs Carl, basically pushes him out the way, and then him and Sean starts fighting. And then Sean winds up, fighting like 2, 3 other guys in the bar. So after that's done, the guy takes him upstairs. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what the guy's name was that, was giving them the intel or whatever. So he was telling them basically what was going on. And then he spots this dude named Scarf Mogru. That's the dude that was capturing all the soldiers and everything. You know what I'm saying? And wanted the money from the military, not military, but the government. You know what I'm saying? Because for some reason he hates Americans. So what happens is he tells Sean and Carl to hide. So they run into like this closet. But Pongo and the guy, who ran the bar or whatever, they're spotted by the time Mogru comes into the room. So Mogru's looking for the two because he knows they showed up, but he just didn't know where they went to. So the bar owner, you know what I'm saying, he says he don't know what he's talking about, whatever. And then Scarf Mogru, with no thought, you know what I'm saying, just blows his fucking head off, man. Like, dude was cold. So he sits next. Now, there was a notorious scene in the movie. Now, if anybody has seen American Ninja 4, you'll know what I'm talking about. The scene where Mogru sits right next to Pongo, and he starts like, feeling on his shoulders and everything, slowly trying to take off his tank top or whatever, and getting too close to him, you know what I'm saying? Too close for comfort, right? Basically trying to intimidate him in a seductive way, which was not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Um, Intimidate Pongo into telling him where the two went to, you know what I'm saying? Where did they go off to? So right before Pongo told him, both of them ran out the closet and they ran out. So now they escaped. And what happens is after that, Pongo, he winds up taking the two to meet this lady named Sarah. She runs a morgue, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So when they go in, they talk to her, whatever, and they need her help to get away from, Mogru and them. And then you had this annoying ass character named O'Reilly. I guess he's like a police chief or whatever. But to me, he was a joke. You know what I'm saying? So he winds up showing up at Sarah's morgue, the morgue or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, and he's, you know what I'm saying, walking around looking for the two because he somehow knew, he had an idea they were there. You know what I'm saying? So he's walking around looking at different bodies and all that because Sean and Carl, they got up under a table throwing a, you know what I'm saying, sheet over themselves or whatever, hiding. So, um, O'Reilly, he's looking for the two and he did not find them. So basically after that, he comes out, he's like, all right, cool, they're not here. So let's go. So after this, Sarah, you know what I'm saying, tells them that they're gone. So they come out and then, there's that little love interest, but not really. Because in this movie right here, you could say that Sarah was Sean's love interest, but they really didn't like display any, romantic I don't know, hints or whatever. Hints of romance. So and that's a good thing too, man, because I kind of get tired of watching action movies where you got the obvious love interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I guess it's refreshing. It's refreshing to see, a female and a male character working together without a forced romance. You know what I'm saying? So this time, after O'Reilly and his men leave or whatever, Sarah's telling Sean that she wants to go with them. But Sean is like, nah, it's too dangerous. You might get caught up. Basically, she might slow them down. But she was just like, nah, I want to go with you. So, he winds up caving and he takes her along with them. So as they're walking through the woods or whatever, right? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this arrow shoots into the tree. You know what I'm saying? There's an arrow just comes out of nowhere and hits the tree right there. Past it, whisk past Sean's face. You know what I'm saying? So he knows what's going on at that point. He has an idea. So my thing is, he sits down Indian style and he starts meditating for a second. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, he pulls out these tools and he puts this bow together, right? And next thing you know, he throws on his mask and it's fight time. So he comes out from behind this tree and he shoots his arrow at this ninja. So once again, there's ninja in this movie. You know what I'm saying? But he starts fighting the ninja or whatever, right? And at first he's watching him. He's doing a good job. But then out of nowhere, here comes Carl. So there's these two or three ninja or whatever that approaches him. And Carl shoots, but somehow the ninja, you know what I'm saying, just dodges the bullets or whatever. And I'm like, hold on. So you telling me that these motherfuckers are faster than the speeding bullet? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how you didn't hit them. Gavin just said this dude was a marksman. You know what I'm saying? But he's missing his target, which are only a few feet away. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that's a contradiction or whatever. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? He's shooting and he's missing. He took like maybe 3 or 4 shots, if I can remember. And out of nowhere, here comes this net, and it's being thrown over all three of them. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, all three of them. Sarah, Carl, and Sean, right? And they get kidnapped. So Pongo winds up getting away. And he runs away to I don't even know where he ran to be honest with you, but he ran away. So this time word got back to Gavin that, the two got kidnapped. So Gavin has no choice but to go, find Joe. So almost halfway through the movie, I say about 40 some minutes through the movie, that's when Micheal Dudikoff's character come in, Joe Armstrong. You know what I'm saying? So he's teaching his class or whatever in the Peace Corps. And when he sees Gavin show up or whatever, he's like, ah shit, not this again. You know what I'm saying? So he sends his class out to, I guess, outside to find something that's a part of the environment while he talks to Gavin. So Gavin is basically telling him that, he needs his help. And Joe's like, I told you last time that it was the last time. And Joe wasn't going to go through with it until Gavin mentioned Sean. You know what I'm saying? So Joe gave it some thought. And apparently, he decides to go out to where they were. You know what I mean? To look for him. So while he's there, you know what I'm saying, at the I guess it was the ticket dude or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or the person checking him in, and he's showing the dude his passport, and dude's asking him, why are you here? And then Joe says vacation, blase blase. So after he walks away from the check-in, the guy, I don't know if he was a part of Mogru's crew or whatever, but he looks at Joe and then picks up the phone to call somebody. Who knows? So Joe, he now you know what I'm saying, this time his contact as well was Pongo. So Pongo told Joe that he was going to take him to Dr. Tamba, right? Which the one thing I did not understand earlier, like I heard somebody else say this in the video about this movie, is that, when the guy from the bar told Sean about Dr. Tamba, and that's who he needs to go see. I don't know why Pongo just didn't take him there to begin with. Like that's one thing I've always questioned. You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you just take him directly there? So, because Pongo, he should have known enough to take him there without having to talk to the bar owner. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Joe meets up with Pongo, right? And now they're on their way to see Dr. Tamba. But then like they're stopped by these two ninja or whatever. So it's a funny scene where one jumps on top of the car, right? While it's still moving and it stops and then Joe punches the ninja through the window. You know what I'm saying? So he falls off and he gets out the car and now he puts his skills to the test. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like okay, in the movie, he's a superior martial artist in my opinion, to Sean. You know what I'm saying? So he wipes out these two ninja with ease. And now they continue their trip to go see Dr. Tamba, right? So there's a few other scenes in this movie that if you wish to see the movie, then I'm not gonna talk about, but you'll see it. It's not really you know relevant or whatever to talk about, but if you decide to watch the movie, you'll see the few scenes that I'm talking about that I didn't mention here. So when they get to Dr. Timber, right? It's like all these dudes dressed in like this Mad Max type of gear or whatever. And so this time Joe, he's being tested because when he gets out there, Pongo tells them that Dr. Timber's looking for a few good men. I heard, and they start laughing, right? So they underestimate Joe, so they put Joe to the test, and it was kind of Pongo instigating the whole thing. So they wind up fighting Joe, and Joe winds up whooping their ass, right? And so Dr. Timber comes from his hideout and tell him to chill out, cool it. You know what I'm saying? He proved himself. So Joe is now having a conversation with Dr. Timber. And they're planning on how, they're planning on how they're going to infiltrate, Mogru's like hideout or whatever. So there's a scene, right? Where you got Sean, you got Carl, and you got Sarah. And this scene didn't really like I ain't gonna say it didn't make sense, but it to me it didn't. You know what I'm saying? In the aspect of the villain is sitting there watching his own henchmen get their ass whooped by Sean. So Sean is fighting, but you could tell there's something wrong with him, like he got poisoned or drugged or something. So at first, like they put a couple dudes up against Sean, so he's fighting, he's holding his own, and then out of nowhere, what I'm saying, he starts like struggling to stay on his feet or whatever. So right before he reaches Mogru, he falls. I guess he passes out from whatever was in his system. So there's this guy named Ali Maskood. I guess he's a Muslim dude. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that has the bomb and threatening to blow up New York. You know what I'm saying? If his demands aren't met, him and Mogru, because they're in it together. So I don't know, man. He was always kind of a funny character to me. You know what I'm saying? Because there was one scene where him and Mogru was like, right before they tried to escape. You know what I'm saying? Or no, Maskood showed Mogru this bomb he had, right? And then he I guess he started the bomb and he started praying. And then right before it reached zero, Mogru stopped it like, man, you crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think the dude was willing to let him blow up. I don't know, but anyway. So now they got Sean, Carl, Sarah, and the rest of the military, you know what I'm saying, in like this little room tied up to like these poles or whatever. And Mogru comes in. He wants one of the dudes to, lick his shoe or whatever, and the dude starts doing it. And then I think Mogru kicks him in the face or something. Mogru was a cold bastard in this movie. You know what I'm saying? But back to Joe. So they infiltrate this party that Mogru and O'Reilly had in Muscool. So what happens is they need to get these plans to infiltrate the underground tunnels that Mogru had, so Joe can reach Sean in them. So he winds up going into like this building, I guess where all the records are kept or whatever. And he's looking through the drawers and everything. So he finds what he's looking for. And then, well, it's a funny scene where O'Reilly, he comes across Joe or whatever, right? He catches Joe, and Joe like pretends to be a priest. He's saying something along the lines of "my son" or something like that, and then he hits him with the death grip. You know what I'm saying, to the neck, and O'Reilly just passes out. So Joe winds up getting what he needs, and then he escapes. You know what I'm saying? So they go back to the hideout. They're looking at the plans and the maps and everything. And then there's another scene in this movie that's also a plot hole. Right before Joe goes into these tunnels, he has this sword that he's sharpening, right? So once he sharpens the sword, he's looking at it like, all right, I'm about to use this, blah, blah, blah. But spoiler alert, he never uses the sword. You know what I'm saying? Never. But anyway, so he has his bag and everything. He jumps into this hole. And like the way it's cut, it's like he jumps down. A second later, he jumps back up in his ninja outfit. So now he's going into the tunnels and everything, right? And while he's in the tunnels, there's these two ninja that grab him. So he winds up fighting one, you know what I'm saying? He's held by one and he's fighting another one. So he had like this dart that he I guess he had this dart in his mouth or whatever while he was trying to get away from the ninja that was holding him. And he did some ill shit by turning his head, and the dart went into the ninja's neck or whatever. So he continues on. And now I'm gonna get to the last part of this movie, y'all, because I ain't even gonna lie, the last part was kind of ill. So you had the remaining soldiers or whatever, right? And you had Sean, you had Carl, and you had Sarah tied up to these poles outside. So Joe comes out of nowhere, right? And he's standing there, and he's saying, hello, oh, what's up, to the ninja next to him. And then he winds up, pulling him down like to the ground, I guess stealing his uniform. So Joe sees the three tied up, or the two tied up, but Sarah. So the three. So what happens is he's walking slowly towards Sean or whatever, right? And then he throws like these smoke bombs, so nobody knows what's going on. So as the area is like smoked out, he's untying Sean, and then Sean unties Carl, and then next thing you know, a big fight breaks out. So there's one character that I didn't mention, and that character is the Master Ninja. So what happens is Sean, he winds up pursuing Mogru. Joe fights the Master Ninja. You know what I'm saying? So Sean, you know what I'm saying, he's beating the hell out of Mogru. He basically, he probably killed the dude just based on the way the dude looked after getting his ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? So after that, you know what I'm saying? Joe, he winds up beating the Master Ninja, and then he takes his bomb and then he just throws it and just blows the motherfucker up. I'm like, God damn. So Muscool, he tried to get away, the Muslim dude. So Carl, he had like this rocket launcher or whatever. And it's kind of reminiscent to the first movie where Jackson shot the chopper out the air. So basically Carl did the same thing. He shot the and I'm like, damn, what the fuck did the pilot do? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he just blew him up for no reason. But anyway, the pilot was probably in on it as well. So, but the thing is, he had the bomb on the plane too, so that shit could have exploded. But I guess it had been detonated or something. But anyway, Carl he shoots the chopper or the helicopter out the air, and the shit blows the fuck up. So that's the end of my school. You know what I'm saying? So afterwards, everybody's just standing around, and Joe is looking around at all these dead bodies or whatever, like these henchmen, ninja or whatever. So he was about to walk away, and then he turns around and tells Sean, you know what I'm saying, basically, you can find me at the school. And then Sean standing there with his new girl, apparently. But again, there was no forced romance. They didn't do no kissing or nothing, so that's cool. But after that, the movie wrapped. You know what I'm saying? So my opinion on this movie. Now, I have to put it in an order where I would say American Ninja 2 comes first. I said this last time, I think. You got American Ninja 2, then it's 4, then the first one, then the third one, and we're gonna talk about the god awful fifth movie soon. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go back and watch it just to remember some stuff. That's how bad the movie was to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, originally it wasn't supposed to be an American Ninja film. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be a totally different movie. I say the only thing the movie got going for it was your boy, what's his name? Mr. Miyagi. You know what I'm saying? He's in the movie. Pat Morita. He's in the movie. You know what I'm saying? I think he's only in the beginning and the end though. But man, that movie sucks. But we're gonna talk about that one. But yeah, American Ninja 4. If I gotta give it a rating, I would give the movie I'll probably say a 7 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the acting wasn't all that great. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Some of the acting was horrible. You know what I'm saying? But the choreography, especially with Sean, was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, David Bradley was already an experienced martial artist before he did this movie. So, like I said, if you haven't seen American Ninja 4, check it out. You don't even really have to watch the first. Well, I would say watch the third movie and maybe the second movie. You know what I'm saying? Before you watch that one, you don't really have to watch the first one. You know what I'm saying? Because like Sean has no relevance to the first two movies. So if you want to get an idea on who these characters are, yeah, go back and watch 2 and 3 first before you watch the fourth one. Before you watch the fourth one, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to jump off of here. Um, watch a couple movies before I lay it down for the night. And I'll get at y'all soon, all right? Peace.